Good morning, friends. We're just concluding the week here on Friday with the reflection on sitting with God, allowing the Spirit to fill us enough that we don't chase everything else in life. And that will basically involve us learning how to sit in quietness with God. And so a couple of verses come to mind when I think about this. One is Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. That there's a kind of access to to knowing God. There's a kind of access to knowing the grandeur and the majesty of God that involves us being still. Being still. And then that also kind of takes me to Elijah and his experience on Mount Horeb, where it says that then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a quiet whisper or a still small voice. And when Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and he went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. And in this conversation, so I think a lot of times what I'm trying to say is that a lot of times we're expecting all of this sort of grand and almost just overwhelmingly transcendent kind of activity, and that God is going to meet us in that. But what ends up happening is that when we still our hearts and still our minds, and maybe take the Super Bowl factory of thoughts that are bang, 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 and we silence them, and we calm them and calm them and calm them, and then we are just sitting with God. Then we have a chance to actually allow God's Spirit to fill us in a way that satisfies us, so that I'm not going to say don't chase, because I'm a realist in this, but that we chase less, that we are satisfied with what God is providing by his own presence to us. And then we're able to work in sync with him in a way that is beautiful and easy and light and joyous. Let's think about that as we come into this weekend and as we try to get some rest during this weekend, but rest in the Lord. Thanks so much for joining me. I love you. God bless you.